So just a brief intro about myself. I'm Jatin Sukhija, a principal test architect here at Provar. I'm from India, and in India, we believe in two things, a strong T and stronger automation. Over the last 10 years, I have been working as test automation consultant. So it's been quite a fun ride for me, from writing Selenium scripts that breaks faster than my New Year's resolution, specifically in case of Salesforce, to writing scripts with tools like Prover that actually make your life easier. I've seen it all. And today we are going to talk about Agentforce, Salesforce very own fancy new AI agent platform, and how we can test it end to end using Prover and other available tooling. You can probably think it like Agentforce is a smart student in class, and we all are examiners trying to find out if it is actually studied or not. And of course, I'll be giving a live demo at the end so you can see it in action. So agenda for today webinar is firstly, we'll discuss about overview on Agentforce, as in what is Agentforce Studio, some key terminologies that I'll be using in. Then we'll move on to types of testing for AI and Agentforce both. Then we'll move on to how to test Agentforce with the available tooling. And yes, we are going to talk about Agentforce Testing Center. And after that, we will going to cover how Prover can help you test agents and AI. And after that, there is some exciting demo and Q&A. Let's start with understanding Agentforce Studio. So Agentforce Studio is comprised of couple of things. First being prompt builder, which allows you to create and test different prompt templates that is useful for generative AI application. For example, it could be email, reaching out for contacts, etc. So those kind of templates comprises in prompt builder. Then we have agent builder, which I guess we all are familiar with. If you have done Salesforce Trailhead for Agentforce, this is most prominent topic. There is this agent builder, is where Salesforce provide you a low-code tool to generate a smart chatbot that can perform actions, flows, writing custom Apex code and whatnot. So moving on to this model builder, which enables the development of custom AI models, including the integration of external tools if you have any external AI models in your company. Then we have testing agent, Salesforce very own scalable hub for testing agents. I'll be covering more on this in later part of presentation. But yeah, this is important part of Agentforce Studio. And then if we have Salesforce, of course, we will be having APIs and integration. So Salesforce has built this into agents where you can set up connections to integrate it with APIs such as Slack, OpenAI, or even Google Gemini. So that was pretty much overview on Agentforce Studio. Now I'll be covering some key terminologies, which is important to understand because I'll be using that a lot during the demo. First one is channels. Channels are basically different channels through which agents and human can interact. It could be email, could be Slack, could be your Facebook Messenger, could be WhatsApp Messenger as well. Then we have utterances. Utterance is nothing but a fancy word for prompt. So basically the message or prompt you pass into AI, and then that AI will parse that and give you the answer that you require. That is utterances. Then we have topic. Topic is basically a group of related user questions and agent actions. It defines what that agent should talk about. And inside topic, we have topic actions that are actual tasks that the agent performed inside that topic. And then we have Atlas reasoning engine. That is the intelligent core of Agentforce. It's like probably the brain behind the agent that decide what to do when user sends in the message. I hope you are all clear with Agentforce Studio and key terminologies. Moving on to capabilities for AI testing as well as for agentic AI testing. Now here I have written n number of testing types. Probably I'll not be covering all, but just so you to know, or you make you aware on what all different types we have. For generic AI testing, we have this data validation. As name suggests, it's basically verify input data sets for quality, completeness, and relevance. Then we have model robustness testing that assesses the ability of model to handle diverse and edge cases. Then we have this performance metrics, bias detection to identify the potential bias if it has. Then we have scalability, another important part, just to send high volume of data to evaluate performance of the agent under the load. Then we have integration testing, explainability testing, logging and monitoring. Yeah. So these are all the different capabilities for AI testing. Now moving on to agentic AI testing, this is little bit different from AI testing, as in this we'll be more precisely be doing testing on the agent and not as generic AI specific. So we have this goal alignment testing to validate AI actions align with the intended goal. So if I have created an agent to write my marketing email, so now the goal alignment testing should be like, it should give me that kind of answers only. It should not give me weather reports or anything else. Those kind of testing is goal alignment testing. Then we have multi-agent interaction testing. If, of course, in Salesforce, you can have multiple agents talking to each other. So we want to know that that part also is working flawlessly without any issues. So multi-agent interaction testing is again the important part of agentic AI testing. Then we have error recovery and fail-safe. If at all your agent is not able to answer the questions you have asked, it should have some mechanism to give you that particular reason that why it is not able to answer to your question. Then we have transparency in decision making, as in what all steps that agent has performed to get to that particular answer. So that transparency is again important. Then we have stability and resource management to validate AI ability to allocate resource efficiently so that we can scale with that. Then moving on to the important part, as in how you will test Agentforce. Of course, you have an option wherein you can let your customers test it, or what we call it as do it live, as in we don't need testing, we'll let our customers do it. So that is there. You can have that option. I don't recommend to have for your application, specifically for important applications, be it in health or financial domain. You don't want your customers to suffer for that. So that is why testing agent is equally important. Then we have agent builder, as I have explained that even before your agent is live, in agent builder, you can write prompts and check for the answer, what it is giving you. So that part from agent builder, you can cover it, of course. And then we have Agentforce testing center. So this is a powerful new feature from Salesforce that makes it easier to test AI agent before they go live. So as you can see in the above screenshot, wherein you can create the test, enter the test case, and pick up the agent and define the goal. So you can consider it as unit testing or integration level testing. Why I'm calling it as unit testing or integration testing is because these are single turn validation. Now, what I mean by single turn validation is if we give a single utterance, like where is my order, as you can see it in below screenshot, that will match it against a particular topic or a particular action. And then also the validation and kind of quality of the output. But this is a single turn validation, and that's not how agent actually talks. Right? Agent talks it will welcome you, it will ask you a couple of questions, you will reply to that questions, and using that questions or using that conversation, it will land to output. So you want to validate each and everything of that particular interaction. So though Agentforce Testing Center is very good for unit or integration level testing, but it doesn't cover that end-to-end part. And that's where we have a Provar. So we have persona-based testing. Of course, you can have different personas, as in someone from different background should see some different configurations. So multi-channel, multi-system testing. If at all it is working seamlessly on desktop, it should work in mobile or some different system if you have. Then prompt variation. It's probably myself, two of my friends and two of my colleagues are testing. We probably won't be giving same kind of prompts in to the agents, right? So that prompts can vary. So this prompt variation is again the important part, because there will be different in the different parts of the world. There will be different humans who will be typing same questions in different formats. So that prompt variations again is the important part. And then we have grounded data evaluation and conversation evaluation. Again, going to the same point, wherein it'll not be a single turn message, it will be a conversation, and based on that conversation you will be getting the response. So testing the complete conversation is really important. Now moving on to the exciting stuff, the demo part. Before I start creating test case in Prover, just wanted to explain for our new users who haven't seen Prover yet. So just wanted to explain a bit about UI. So on the left side, you see, it's been divided into different sections. On the left hand side, you can see the sections. First one is test, wherein all your test cases will be stored, whatever test cases you will be created. Then you have files. So as files, so all your test data files, as an Excel file, CSV file, JSON file, can be any kind of file, will be stored in this file section. Then we have this plans. I'll cover this plans later on. Then we have this execution section, wherein if you are running your test case, all your execution sessions will be recorded in this execution section. Then we have this very important section, Explorer, which I'll explain you in a bit. And at the end, we have this settings section, which in which you can create different kind of connections to your Salesforce application, your generic UI web applications, all your API connections, even email connections. So all that sort of connections you can create in here. And moving on to this Explorer section, this is actually the heart of Prover, wherein as soon as you create the connection in the Prover, it will automatically download the mirror data of your org. Now it knows what all objects that org has. It even knows what all field those object has. So you can imagine the kind of data Prover knows about your Salesforce org, and this will help me in create test cases seamlessly. Perfect. Moving on to the actual topic, as in the Agentforce part. So firstly, I will go ahead with demo with image verification. So you can see we have this validate AI image. This basically takes base encoded 64 image and validate it across the description you have set. So you can see I have set a description in here as this image shows the gray car. I'll just put a breakpoint in here. Just give it a go. You can see the images of gray car. Now, if I execute this, it perfectly passed. Now you may ask that how would we know that it is not always passing? So yeah, I can probably clear that too. So if I edit it, and if I say instead of gray, I write it as red car. Now if I so the one more concept which I would want to highlight in here is you can move around your test steps in between, and you can execute it from there. So you have that flexibility in Provar. Now if I re-execute this step, since the image is of not of a red car, this fails. So this clearly shows that the intent which you have passed on, or the description which you have passed on, doesn't match with the this image. That is the reason it got failed. So I know this image testing can be very powerful in places. If I talk in terms about of Salesforce, you have Tableau validation, you have graph validation. So all that sort of validations, you can do it with the help of this image validation. Now this is not pixel to pixel comparison. This is more of the intent behind that image, like what you wanted to check. So if you have graphs maybe, and you want to check whether one bar is higher or not. So that kind of validations you can do it using this image verification. Perfect. Moving on to the intent part. Now here we have intent validation. Probably what I will do is I'll explain. I have explained you on the utterances part. Here my utterance or my prompt is I need help resetting my password, and the intent which I'm giving in is password reset. Now if I'll pass on this intent and utterances to this intent validation, which is part of this test palette here in Prover, so you get all these AI features. So if you can see this validate intent, you can just drag drop it into your test case and just pass on the intent and utterances. Now here it may seem smaller, but once we will be doing that chatbot part, it will make more sense. But just wanted to make sure that everyone understand that what this intent validation is doing. So if I put a breakpoint again and give it a run, perfect. So you can see it is passed, response code is 200, status is okay, and the utterance clearly matched the intent. Now if I change my intent or my utterance, if I say I need help with swimming lessons, and I re-executed it. So this time my intent didn't match with my utterance. So that is the reason it got failed, that your utterance clearly doesn't match with intent. Now, this is what we will be using when we'll be chatting with the chatbot. So the message which it will be displaying to you, it will be capturing that message and it will be validating it against the intent. So we'll be having intent versus utterance validation in there. Moving on to the main part. So I have created this. So if you have done Trailhead, it will ask you to create that session Experience Cloud session website wherein you can book your session. So I have used the same website in which we can book a session just by chatting with the agent. We can tell the agent our requirement, and it will help us in booking that session for us. Now here what you are seeing is you can see two Salesforce connections. So you can open multiple browser in the same test case itself with the Prover, so that you have that flexibility, as in you can open multiple connections or multiple browser in the single test case itself. So where that will be helpful in situations like this, where I am booking agent in some different platform and I'm validating it in Salesforce. So you can see my Salesforce Experience Cloud platform is open, and now I am opening my front end, or you can say user experience website, in which actually user will go and will book the activities which they would want to do. So what this test case basically is doing, it is collecting the booking information, as in what all booking slots is available. So you can see it is running different SOQL queries. So it is capturing what all different booking slots are available. You can see it will capture these booking slots as in available slots using this UI assert step. Now all of this the steps which you are seeing in here is coming from metadata, which I have just shown you in that Explorer tab. Now it will move on to this front end website. It will open that chatbot and it will start capturing and validate that intent. So the first validation, what it is doing is, as soon as I start that chatbot, it should validate whether it is asking me a welcome message or not, and then it is asking me what that agent can help me with. So here I'm passing on the intent, all at runtime, generating utterances using that utterance generator which I have shown you, and validating all the responses which the AI is giving. The part which I'm trying to show in here is, this is not the single turn validations. This is not a single message which I'm validating in here. Perfect. As you can see, it is capturing as soon as AI is replying to my messages. Prover is capturing those messages using this AI, using this intent validation, and using this UA set and validating it using this intent validation, and then passing on the message using this utterance generator. So I have used this utterance generator to make it as random as it could be. As I mentioned that there are different people who will be writing different questions to agent. So that's why I have used this utterance generator, so I can have different kind of variations while uh, interacting with agent. Perfect. As you can see, it has successfully booked my jungle safari for myself and my wife. Perfect. So now we will be validating this booking in the Salesforce session, which we have opened just before logging into this Experience Cloud website. You can see now it will move on to, now all of this is achievable by API, but I wanted to show you guys the UI part so you can relate it to more. So that is the reason I'm showing it to UI. Perfect. As you can see, it is validating the number of guests and the total price. So what I have done in here is multiply the single price with the number of guests which my chatbot has asked to book. So we can validate the price as well. And as a best practice, once my test case is complete, I'm deleting this booking just with the API call, which you can see it in here. Now, if I refresh it, you can see it's gone. So it's that simple, wherein how you can test your AI chatbots. Now, brief recap on what we have covered uh, till now. We have covered the end-to-end Experience Cloud and Salesforce platform application, as in we are creating or interacting with the agent in the Experience Cloud, and whatever that chatbot is doing is getting stored in my Salesforce. And with the help of Prover, I'm validating within the Salesforce. API testing part we have covered. We have covered image validation. Told you the use cases could be very useful in Tableau or graph validation and whatnot. So the applications for testing AI is limitless, and at Prover, we are continuously improving our AI capabilities so that we can help you in testing your AI applications. So that was all about the demo. I hope you got the clear idea on how you can test your AI agents. And again, as I mentioned, testing is as important as the development of your application, because if you don't test it, your customer is going to pay for that. So better test your applications before deploying. Okay, now moving on to the questions. The demos I have seen with Prover, with Agentforce, all use V3. What capabilities exist today with V2? Very good question, Stephen. So we have purposely decided to add all our AI capabilities in V3. Our success, if you are a Prover user already, our success team will for sure reach out to you. This V3 will be live very soon for our customers and for our users. So you can use all that AI capabilities within your environment too. Is there any error between API services, or if there is any error between the API services or some middleware services, how we are solving them? Again, a good question, Shubha Lakshmi. So as you can see, we have this variable section in Prover at the runtime itself, you can see what kind of response you have received from that API service. If at all you haven't received the correct response, uh, your test will fail, and you can add multiple if condition if that error is expected to you, and you even can add expected expectation exception if you would want to, if you are actually expecting any exception for that API. If you're not accepting, Prover will handle that for you. It will show you that the API request which you have made have not resulted into the correct API. It will tell you the response code. It will tell you what all response that API has received, and then you can act on based on. You can modify your test case, or maybe you can give it a try if you think it's just a one-time scenario. Okay, I have a question that Prover UI looked different from what I used earlier this year. Is it different from Provar Automation tool? This is the same tool. So I cannot see the name who have asked this question, but this is the same tool. We have updated our UI and UX for good, and you can see it. It has been all new looking UI divided into different sections, easier for us to create test cases, easier for people to understand it and create test cases on. So if you're using Prover, feel free to reach out to our success team, and they'll be able to help you with this new version. It's Prover paid or free tool. So again, a good question. So it's a commercial tool, Amber. So it's a paid tool, but we always believe in ROI. So if you would want to have Prover for your testing team, you can reach out to our sales team, and they'll be able to help you, as in how Prover can help you on a return on that investment, what you will be doing in Prover. So in the last demo, how you pass the response based on the questions from the chatbot. Okay, so I hope my screen is still visible. Sumit, you have asked this. So if you see here in my test case, I have this UI assert step. After every response I'm receiving from the chatbot, and every time it is capturing the latest response. The Prover has that capability wherein it can read on to the response from the chatbot, capture it, and pass on for the further steps. I hope that answers your question. AI capability requires any license from OpenAI or other AI companies, or it comes with Prover? Very good questions. So we does use OpenAI, but the commercial part that is still under discussion, that how that will be part of the product or not. But feel free to reach out to our team, and they'll be able to help you understand in that how that thing will work. Could I hear more about utterance generator using slightly random prompts? A big plus over Agentforce testing. 100% you have that capability. If I show you in the test palette, so you have this utterance generate utterances. If I just drag drop it in my test case, you can see it asks you for utterance count. So you can maybe generate up till 1,000 utterances if you would want. I know nobody will generate 1,000 utterances, but you could easily generate as many utterances as you want. You just specify your intent in here, as in password resetting or whatever your intent is. You can be as random as it could be. Just pass on some of the variable name, and you're all good to go. All good to go. Just as in when you will run this, Prover will give you list of utterances of whatever intent you have passed it on to. Is Prover going to provide any environment for hands-on? See, so Mukesh, because the way how our tool is, so I would request you to reach out to our team. So trying it within your environment, or if you want to actually have Prover implemented at your place, you can try trial or POV for free. We don't charge for that, but it's actually seeing the kind of tool, it would be actually useful if you reach out to our team, and our team can help you with that POV and trial version. Yeah, okay. Again, a good question from James. As Agentforce is so vast, is there any AI capability? So what I have shown you, James, that is the AI capability. You can generate. So whatever the details I was passing into that chatbot, it was not predefined. I was generating it at runtime using that utterance generator. And even the responses which I was getting from that chatbot, I was validating it using AI itself. So I was not passing any data from Excel file or from any JSON file. It was all run at runtime. Is there any user guide available for follow? Rutu, you can for sure go to University of Provar. It's our free learning platform. There is tons of courses available on University of Provar, not only with respect to Provar, but with respect to generic testing as well. So feel free to check it out there. I guess I've answered all the questions. So good to see these many participants joining us for today's webinar. If you want to know more about us, feel free to reach us at support@provertesting.com, and we would be happy to support you in any which way. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.